Good morning.
Good
What are
morning,
you
Jesse.
doing?
How are you?
I am fantabulous. How are you?
I mean, I'm showered. I don't know about you.
I am not showered. Uh, I've been awake for about 22 minutes now. I slept in but you know what? It wasn't like an uncomfortable raunchy sleep. Like it was a good healthy deep sleep. But yeah, I didn't get into San Antonio till I don't know, 12. 4. I didn't get home until about 1 o'clock this morning. Had a delay in St. Louis and, blah, blah, blah. But we are here, my
You're
sister.
here. Yes, we made it.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, so did you have a good week this week?
It was a good week. I had a good mom week this week. Had some big milestones happen
That's fun.
with my
Super
daughter. Got a
fun.
driving permit, which is a little scary, and also had her final performance for color guard. So
Oh,
yes,
that's
very good
awesome.
week.
That's super awesome. I'm excited. Let them in. Awesome. Well, then, I mean, that's good. Hopefully, the tribe out there in the Omniverse can pick up
Can
my
remember
slack.
us. Can remember us.
Yeah. What
I feel like
happened?
we haven't been out here in a bit.
Yeah, it's been like a month, so hopefully they're not on strike against us for taking so much time off. But I'm excited. I'm excited to reconnect with everybody and for today's subject,
Oh, this is
right?
gonna be juicy.
Yeah. So you and I have been kicking this around. It came up at the after party way back when about stop seeking validation, start delivering value. And
Yes.
so we're going to get into that, folks. So, of course, as always, let us know that you're there so we can love on you and so the rest of the tribe can attack you.
Yes.
But I think I hope we ruffle some feathers with this topic because it's one of those that really forces you to look inwardly to see like, what am I doing? And maybe what's really the risk. So we'll
And
get to that.
I like that. I like that. And it is the ruffle the feathers is that we're trying to like get you a little bit uncomfortable because it's so easy to just stay in that comfort zone and I'm good and I'm just gonna ride it out. And that's usually not the place you grow. So we're gonna
100%.
push you a little bit.
Yes. Oh, look, we already got a comment coming. Oh, from Miss Leslie Flowers coming in from North Carolina. She said, I sound like I have a cold. Me too. Leslie, I'm sorry you have a cold. This is my just jumped out of bed voice.
Just called him and woke him up. That's it. That's that voice. Good
All
morning.
right, Jen, well, let's do the housekeeping before we get this
Okay.
train rolling.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, thank y'all for being out there because we know it's been a bit. Jesse and I had a huge event a couple weeks ago and we had to not have our live stream. So we're glad to be back. So if you are out there and you're listening, and hopefully we have some new followers because we had a lot of run over the last month. If you're out there listening, you're out there, we've just run across your feed, or you haven't been here in a while and you're showing back up, or you're just there hanging out. Like, if you will let us know, number one, you're there. We want to know because we don't know who's listening unless you make a comment. If you happen to be out there and have either heard us before or just running across us, and this is the first time that you're seeing our beautiful faces on the screen, or the first time that you're actually going to type and let us know you're there, put a blue heart in your comment. And all that what that does is it allows us to know you're new and you're like just jumping in and we want to recognize you and shine a light on you just a little bit. But it also allows all of our No BS tribe members to know that you're new so they can connect with you, engage with your content, and let you know that you have a community around you. And every time that you comment, it puts you in the randomizer. And so, Jesse, what is the randomizer?
The randomizer. So when you put your name in or drop your comment, ask your question, share your wisdom, your experience in the comments, it puts you in the randomizer. And if your name gets selected, we'll be doing the selection at the top of the hour. And if your name gets selected, you will get a 1 month pass to work on your communication skills, to build your connection skills, your vulnerability with the emotional bungee jumpers and the cultivation crew. And yes, there's some folks out there that I've been owing you an invite. I finally sent it out last night, so I fall behind on that, but that just means we're going to have a bigger party. And then let's see, we got some. Oh, look,
we're blowing it up. So there's lots of comments, but also LinkedIn's being janky as usual. So there's also, you can also find us on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think I just dropped the link. Yeah, I just dropped the YouTube link in case it's like misbehaving on your end in the chat or in the comments. So if you can't find the link because it's kind of hard sometimes, go to YouTube and just search No BS, no space BS, and with Jen and Jess, and it should pull us up. But thank you for the heads up, Leslie, because LinkedIn is locked up on my end too. And look at that. Speak of the devil, Mr. Jim. Oh, so he's on the deck near the wife, so he doesn't want us to ruffle her feathers. 10-4. Thank you, brother. Let's see. We also got Miss Nicole. What's going on, Miss Nicole? Good to have you, Miss Lucery. What's up, sister? Yeah, she's been posting some fire.
Yeah, she's in a transitional place right now, and she is challenging. She's pushing and she's challenging, and I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We need that. Keep it coming, girl. Leslie says she's DM'd me. Ooh, I need to check that then about being on the carousel. I will get back to. I will check my
whatever that is. Jesse, handle it.
The chief marketeer says, "Good morning, OBS tribe. It's rainy on the outside, sunny on the inside. I love it.
Love it.
Oh, look at this, Miss Lauren.
Good morning,
Miss Lauren. I'm gonna say, well, maybe this one's really for the tribe. I think Lauren's a blue heart.
I think so. If you're new, and I'm seeing lots of faces and names that I've not seen before, if you are new and this is the first time that you are talking or engaging with us, put a blue heart in your comment. We think you are sometimes like Lauren, but it helps us all know that you are new to us.
Yes. Welcome, Lauren. Glad you're here. We got Watermelon 6767 says, please play Geometry Dash. I don't know what that is, but they're coming in from the YouTube. Oh, Leslie just dropped the link also for the YouTube.
Thank you.
Man, we got everybody here. Miss Jackie says, hey, everybody. All right, y'all. We got a party going on, so let's get into it, Jen.
Yes.
The topic is, let's paint the picture for the crew. Stop seeking validation, start delivering value. What does that mean? Where's that coming from? All of the above.
So really, this was some conversations you and I had in the after party, and then we had some deeper conversations with just you and I on, I think people confuse the two. And I told you, like, I feel like people, they think that they're looking for value, or they're trying to show their value, and it is masked, it is covered up, or even sometimes, I guess, misinterpreted as people coming in that are seeking validation. So they're not going in saying, here's what I'm bringing. They're going in going, how can I be, people can see me. And in the rooms, they're basing that value on other people's perspective and other people, what other people are saying or doing or recognizing. And they're not going in saying, this is my value. Not everyone is going to look at it the same way, understand it, and may not even be where I'm at yet. That takes a lot, Jesse. That's like you got to have a lot of gumption and a lot of like courage to be able to go in and know, I know my value. And if they don't see it, it doesn't change my value.
Oof. There's a lot. I don't know if we're going to, because honestly, you said, like, yes, it takes gumption, right? It absolutely takes courage. But like actually getting to a point where I knew my value that took a lot.
I agree.
A lot. But hopefully I'm not deterring anybody, because I feel like it's a progression. And if you get on the path, you will get there, it will become clear. But I also know staying on the validation wheel, right? Trying to maintain favor with people and make sure everybody likes me, make sure I'm approvable, and all of those things got in the way of me discovering the value, like the value that I'm best designed to provide. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, yes, just yes. And the analogy that I usually use is when you get invited into rooms. So like there's a lot of times that we were working to be able to be invited into those rooms, whatever they are, the rooms where all the decision makers are, or where the leaders are, or where they get invited in. And to me, the way I look at that is I don't want to just be invited into the room. Like, oh, they see me, now I can say I'm in the room. I don't want to be in the room unless I can speak and I have a voice and I am contributing to what's happening in the room. So to me, I know my value, and it may keep me from being in the rooms. But once they invite me in, I don't have to shy in the corner. I don't have to be quiet. I don't have to go, ooh, is it okay if I say this? Like, if I am living my value, then I don't need the validation. And the validation, just because they open the door and they invite you in, that's validation. Like, okay, now you've earned your right to be here. That's validation versus I have value. And once they invite me in, like I don't have to like worry about, ooh, is it okay? So that to me that's how I think about it.
I love it. All right, we got a bunch of comments.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the question out so that the tribe can answer, and I'm gonna recognize the people that are popping in. Okay. So question number 1, have you ever felt pressure to fit in even though your perspective could have added value? And so in the question is like, because I wanted to fit in, I didn't contribute, say, or challenge, or ask the thing that I wanted to, because I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. So have you ever felt that pressure? Want to hear from the tribe. And let's see, man, we got everybody.
Yeah, bring them. I love it.
You know what? And it's Leslie's fault, because she tagged.
Thank you, Leslie.
DM, and that's where all these beautiful people are coming from. Do you know this person?
I do, Christy. Oh my gosh. And it's early and it's a Saturday. So usually she catches the replay. So welcome this morning.
Welcome, Miss Christy. We also got Meryl Koss against
thank you,
Leslie Flowers follower. Thank you very much. Lauren says she connected with both of us. Thank you, sister. She can't stay the whole time, but she'll catch a replay. All good. Let us know how it goes. And then we got my buddy, Mr. Daddy Hoots.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Adam. Founder, leader, provoker of the Old Dogs community. Oh, man, we got a lot of stuff in here. We got Taco B Jimmy says, hi, what's up? Oh, no, okay, here we go. We got a gangster quote already. Nicole says, likability is not credibility. What do you think about that? That's a nice.
That's a whole other show, I feel.
Right. Oh my God. Okay, and then we got, all right, so we're already getting the responses here.
Yes.
Getting some love, and we got a lot, guys. Thank you all. This is gonna be one of those, Jen, where I'm just gonna have to feel guilty because I can't go to every.
We may have to go back and bring you in as Jesse will bring you in when I'm talking. Is pretty much how that happens.
Yeah. Oh, keep them coming though. I love it. Let's see. We got a comment. Where did it go? I lost it. Here we go. Lucery says, value is not something you earn. It's something you give. What do you think about that? I love that.
To me, I love that. Thank you, Lucery, because I know kind of her headspace right now. So I love that that's coming from you and that you're kind of figuring that out. But I also know that I agree with it, but that's a hard thing to like grasp and to acknowledge and to own, because that just means that if people around you, okay, are not recognizing your value, it doesn't limit your value. And I think sometimes we allow other people to dictate our value and to tell us when, what's good and what's not. And know that we know we're working within the confines of companies and departments and different layers and hierarchies of titles and stuff like that. I mean, we understand all that. We're not trying to like throw all that out. We are talking about individuals, and I'm talking about that specifically. Jesse knows this, is like within the last 5 or 6 years, I defined my value by what people told me I did good. That is how I defined it. And if they said, you're good at this, or you're great at this, or this is what we want you to do because this is the value you bring, that is what shaped the decisions I made and the rooms that I was in and the things that I said and the things that I shared. Like it shaped it because they're telling me this is valuable. So I need to lean into that. And it's the opposite of what Lucery just wrote. And that is where I lived for a long time. And then within the last 5 or 6 years, I realized, they can't even see the value that I already know I can contribute, and that the value I don't even know that I can contribute yet. No, they can't even see it. So if I am allowing the people around me to define it, then I am completely limiting any opportunity for what's next. That's my
100%. Well, and there's a couple of things that you said, right? Is because I've been in that place, and I know people out there are still in that place. And it's one of those, it's like the gas station on a road trip. You're going to have to stop at a gas station. So it's almost inevitable, but I've seen it, I've experienced it where people get frustrated because them don't see the value I can bring. They're underutilizing me. They can't see all of my amazing, glorious talent. And there's some truth to that. But it's also like, unfortunately, they can't because you never show it. You're so busy, or we are so busy trying to maintain the status quo, not rock the boat, and maybe whisper, not maybe. Instead of giving our straight up 100% perspective that is necessary or that is missing, we say it in such a powder-coated, fluffified way that it doesn't land. It just sounds like static, like all the other static in the room. And then we get frustrated, and it's like, they don't see my value. It's like, well, you don't show your value, right? Like you're saying the same crap. Like it's so sanitized and safe that nobody can see it and grab onto it. And so like, main point is we're the root of our frustration in that situation. And you said this at the top of the call, right? It is scary.
It's risky, Jesse, right? It's scary and it's risky. So like, we're not trying to say like, just throw everything out. Don't worry about it. We understand it's scary and it's risky, and you get to make the choice.
100%. 100%. Leslie says, I have learned that seeking validation is an expression of the fear of criticism and limited self-worth.
Wow.
That's it, right?
Yes.
And so I love this, right? The fear of criticism and limited self-worth. So when you think of like past and present, Jen, how much were you concerned or holding back because of fearing other people's criticism of you, your thought, your idea?
100%. And it was I defined my value by when people recognized that something that I did. Like that's how I define it. Like, and so, and like that doesn't happen a lot. So I was very much searching for that. So I was searching for someone to recognize what I was doing. And then I was like, okay, then I'm doing the right thing. Well, there's a lot of gap in between those conversations. And the whole time I'm kind of like, okay, is this right? I was second guessing a lot of things. And so for me, and I love when she uses the word criticism, because you and I, there's a lot of things we do where we lean in to feedback and that healthy conflict. We lean into that because we know there's value in it. And I'm going to say my breaking point, but the point that changed everything in my brain was when I was having a conversation with someone, and the focus of it was to criticize. That was the focus of the conversation. It was to criticize what I was doing. And I was listening and I was processing. And in that moment, as much as I felt the smallest that I've felt probably in a really long time, through the conversation, some things were happening in my brain that I don't think I realized, because when it got done and I was like emotional and just like broken, I took a breath. I said, thank you for the feedback. I got off the call, talked to you for a long time. And then in that moment, I realized this person who has a lot of power and a lot of control, like they don't even know. Like, so they were criticizing something, and it made me realize, like, oh, this is not on them. This is not, like, as much as it hurt and as much as I allowed it to make me feel the way it did, like, I can control this. And it was a huge point that it shifted so much thinking.
Yes.
And poor you now get all the after effects of all of that. But it shifted the way that I defined my value.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say, the way from my observation of kind of seeing seeing the shift, it shifted from your value. You defined your value by an external source. And after that event, you defined your value. Like you said, this is who I am, this is what I bring, and this is how I'm going to do it. And not like waiting for the signal from everybody else. And that's the hard part, right? Or at least for me anyways, is like seeking validation it's a slippery slope, because it's a real tight feedback loop, right? If I behave the way you want me to behave, and you're happy and you talk to me and I get invited and all the things, those are signals that help reinforce that behavior. The problem is I never do the other thing. So it's like I end up seeking the validation because of the dopamine hit, right? Like physiology and all of that. It feels good and it's fast. So it's easier to just keep doing that. But what I ended up having to do in that moment during those times was suppress what I really had crawling within me. Yep. And so this got bigger and bigger. This got smaller and smaller. And I was frustrated and irritated, right? Like, this is not who I want to be. And it was this thing where it's kind of like, not kind of like when I was younger in my teens and maybe early 20s, I knew I was the crazy party guy. Jesse's going to go streaking and, do all kinds of dumb shit. I knew what people wanted from me and I would do it because it was fun. It was crazy, all the things. So that was the feedback loop. And then I resented everybody because they never wanted anything more from me. They couldn't see that, I was a deep thinker or whatever. Like, all they could appreciate was this beautiful, glorious vision. And they never appreciated me for my mind. I mean, being silly, but it was that kind of thing. And then, but for real, I was the one that was creating that situation. And so I had to break out of it. Now, the interesting thing, I want to ask you and the tribe out there, when I made the shift to say, screw that bullshit, this is who I am. And it wasn't like it took a while, but because at first it was just like angry rebellion. And then it was like, no, this is my mission. This is like what I'm about. I'm not doing it against anything or anybody. I'm doing it in service. I was fearful that if I show up this way, all of these people are not gonna like me anymore. Like, I'm gonna be alone. what I found out was the more I showed up this way, a lot of these people stuck around. They're like, man, this is what we always saw. Thank God for you bringing it out finally. Some of them, they filtered out, which was fine. And so, like, what I feared was it was a yes no deal, meaning if I don't play the clown role for everybody, nobody's gonna like me. That wasn't true. And what I found, like the surprising find, was the more I like stepped into my value and contributing the gifts and talents that I've been blessed with, the more I did that, the deeper and more meaningful the connection was. You think about that, Jen? Is that?
I do. And Leslie made a comment, and I want to put it into my response. She put a comment about that's when you walk away. That's when you have to be willing to walk away.
Yeah.
So when you're at a point to where, like, what all that was going on with me, and again, Jesse lived through it. You have to be at a point where you're willing to walk away and have the hard conversations. And if they are in it, if you have the hard conversations and they recognize you are worth way more than what they're going to lose, they will make changes. And they do.
100%. And that's the thing, right? Like, so if anybody out there, you're feeling like, yeah, you're talking all this shit, Jess, but like, you're a LinkedIn superstar. It's different. Like, no. Like, for real, I had a real job. I had bosses. I had fears and concerns. What I never considered, and this is true, you just nailed it. They have the same concerns. Like, as much as I was afraid of losing them and whatever their, influence was on me, they also feared losing me. I just didn't know it. Like, I just assumed that they didn't. And so you start shifting, they'll shift. Yeah. And if they don't, guess what? Good. Good.
Right. But you have to be willing. Like, you can't go, yes, all of this, but I still need to hold on. Like, it's scary and it's risky. And we keep saying that because it's true. And it's not like just throw everything out and just, if you're going to have to accept me, like we understand you're having to work in the confines, within the confines of things. But also, like, if it's important to you, you have to be willing to go, I'm not sure this is where I need to be anymore. And then they get to make a decision.
100%. 100%. Oh, we got a lot.
I know, it's all over the place. We have so many people. Thank y'all so much for commenting.
So we got Miss Lisa. She says, oh no, Jesse got me hooked on this show a while ago. Thank you, Lisa. I love it. Because sometimes people will like give compliments, but they misspell my name. They'll say, like, spell it Jennifer.
Well, and also we have, which I already love, like, we got Sarah and Steve over here already, like,
I love it. Having a sideshow. Stop passing notes in the back. Merrill, he said he's coming in from New Jersey. Also, another shout out for the DM carousel. I keep saying casserole, carousel. So clearly, I need to follow up on that DM.
Yes.
You sent me, Ms. Leslie. Thank you for doing that. Let's see. I want to recognize. Miss Sarah. She said, good morning, Nobius Tribe. Like a nice topic today. Like that you're here, sister.
Yep.
And like that you were on the last Cooper's call, which was awesome.
She brings the fire.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so we got some other. Mr. Hoots says, that was me early in my career. I used to always bite my tongue. Not no more. Been hanging with you two for too long. Thank you, sir. And that's kind of the point, right? Is what I love about it's kind of dumb, right? I was doing my time management workshop with Reader Construction on Wednesday, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. And getting to meet people in person that we've kind of formed a connection through the LinkedIn, and meeting them in person was ultimate, right? And it's like, okay, so I'm not just spinning my wheels and because I love the sound of my own voice. It is true. I do love the sound of my own voice, but it's actually helpful. And so being able to have this community experience is beautiful.
I want to ask you a question, Jesse, from the comments in a minute, but I want to also like make the point based on what we've said. Yes, it's scary. And yes, there will be people that be like, I don't need to be in that space with you, but then you will attract the people that are thinking the way you think, and that are the people that are probably going to help your trajectory and where you're going in the rooms that you're not in. Like, as much as yes, and you will also like create this entire space and community that you weren't even aware of, because you're living your purpose, you're speaking your value, and people are going to go, ooh, I want to be in space. That's normally what I hear of. Like, I hear of people that follow my content or that are engaged with a lot of the stuff you and I do. And then then it's like, yes, because of the way y'all show up and the way you speak, I want to be a part of that. And that's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, and again, another point, right, is breaking away from the validation addiction. Yes, the number of people that, I have connections with has gone down. So that was a little scary, right? Like, because, I get clear about who I am. I help them understand who I am, how I roll, what I support, what I'm against.
You can be a little scary, Jesse, anyway. So.
A little intense sometimes. But the smaller number it's not a loss, because the connection is deeper.
Ooh, very much.
Right. So like before, it's like, yeah, I had all these people in my circle, but it was like wishy-washy, flim-flammy, whatever, weak sauce. Now the numbers gotten smaller, but man, when we get together, like, it's for real, for real. And Leslie, again, man, Leslie's bringing the fire. Yes, I know how. And so here's a value point, right? If we've been playing the validation game, you know how to fit in. That is a valuable skill. But get to a place where you can choose. Like, you don't have to fit in. You know what to do. You know how, it's not a hard game. It's like, for real, man. It's like freaking high school, right? You figure out how to fit in at all the cool kids, the freaks, the gangsters, the rockers, like the stoners. Figure out how to fit in with everybody. That's an important skill to have in the professional space. But you can choose to step away. And being able to do that is the game, right? That's not just in terms of like effectiveness, but in terms of like self-care and self-appreciation. You got to be able to step away and not get sucked into the stuff.
And I just want to add, Jesse, I think the status quo, like the things that we've talked about, like the things that you do just because it's your job, will get you promoted. It'll get you on that. You may have a career path that's step 1, step 2, step 3. And you know what? There are people that's what they want. That's what they're looking for. And then there are people like us that Sunday night and Monday morning, like, we're excited about what's going to happen this week, because we are about to blow up the world and we're about to change things. And like, they're just different. And it doesn't mean that you're still not going to have a path and have, you're taking steps and you're moving towards something, but there's a difference. And somebody's already determined the path. Somebody's already laid out the path. Somebody else is driving the direction that you go, or you are.
Hey, oh man, we're going to have to cut that one out. Look at this. We got Miss Coach Carrie Willis. She says,
good morning.
Checking in from Indiana. I love a small, meaningful circle of real reciprocal relationships.
Is she Blue Heart? I don't know if I've seen her before.
I don't think we've seen her before. So folks,
yes, tell us.
Blue Heart, everybody swarm Miss Coach Carrie. Give her likes, give her support, give her a follow. Coach Carrie, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to assume that you came by way of Leslie. If not, it don't matter. I'm just glad you're here.
We're giving all the love to everyone from Leslie and with Leslie.
Super good. All right. So we got some wisdom. We got a heavy comment here from Miss Christie.
Okay.
She says, our true worth has nothing to do with our position and everything to do with how we value ourselves. I started keeping a value journal to remind myself of my integrity, my education, and my heart for people. It's so easy to get distracted and believe what others say about us, but we have to get back to what we know is true about ourselves. What do you think about that? Like 2 points, the value journal and it having nothing to do with our position.
Well, and the distraction, I think, because one, I've gotten to hang out with Chrissy and Angela over the last month and gotten to just sit and have some hard conversations, some kind of, some things, emotional conversations about, just life and things going on, the distractions. And I want to pull that word out of it. She said a lot. And so just the distractions of all the noise around us and what other people are saying. And if we are not very clear and we haven't protected ourselves, whether it's a journal or it's having the right advisory council around you that kind of can protect the things that you're allowing yourself to see, the distractions can limit what you do. Like, and it's someone out there that, again, got you mad, got you angry, got you distracted on your purpose because they're saying something. And usually when those distractions are happening, it's because you're doing some big things and they're uncomfortable. They're worried about their job. They're worried about their role and what they were able to do before. And now, because of the things you're doing, things are all in an upheaval and things are not what they're comfortable with or what they were allowed to do before. So you're scaring them, and the way that they fix that or address it is they tear you down. They attack what you're doing, because most people, when they're attacked or they're questioned, they shrink and they're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. And when you don't, and you just keep pushing, they go away.
Yes. What challenge, the way I frame that situation is when I provoke that kind of like defensive response from people because of, what I'm bringing and what I'm saying, is I'm signaling to them like what they're seeing is like, shit, I need to be more vulnerable, more transparent, more, what's the other word? Authentic. And there's a little bit of irritation because they're not saying what they really feel, what they really believe, or it's a direct, like, I'm not, like, they don't understand. I'm not rejecting them. The idea is what I'm rejecting, right? The idea is what I'm not in support of or I'm against or whatever. And so they still have some things they need to work. And so for me, it's like, oh, awesome. You're pissed. Good. Like this is going to be a definitive moment between us that you can reconcile and figure out like, oh, we kind of are on the same team. We just see things differently, or that you don't want to hear from my ass. And either one is good because we're clearer going forward. Luzery says it's a breakthrough. It's hard to step up. It's hard to stay put, and it's hard to break to make space to grow. Choose your hard.
I mean, again, it's like work. I mean, we say it all the time. Like just it's hard. We're not trying to say like, oh, you're going to find the easy road. You can find. I mean, the easy road's not the best. Not the road that's going to blow up the world. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to You're not going to find new things on the easy road because that's the road everyone's on.
100%. Yeah. Yes. You already know how I feel about that. Oh my goodness. All right. Steve Martin says relevant discussion, fresh off of a week of Kaizen training. Kaizen mindset is everyone on the team, regardless of rank, has equal authority. I agree with that. And I also recognize how difficult it is to like embrace that as the leader and or as, the team member, if you will. And here's why. Because we can say it. I've seen it in posters in corporate offices. It's like no rank in the room. Everybody has a boy, blah, blah, blah. But the behavior of the leader does not reinforce that. So there's stuff there that needs to happen, which I think is not as big a problem as when you tell everybody's equal here. Which is fine. But most of us, or rather, I'll say it this way, very few of us have actually been able to exercise our autonomy. And so we're used to like, tell me what to do. What are the rules? What's the game? Let me just follow the rule. Let me do that. And so when somebody says that, it's like, I have no idea what that means. And the reason I put that out there is like, and I know Steve knows this, and Jen, I know you know this, there is a lot of work to be done if you're in a culture and an environment where that really truly is the game, like, right, like we want to hear everybody plays, in creating the conditions where people have the confidence to show up that way. What do you think, Jen?
I have something to say. I have something to say about this specifically, and I want to make Jesse. I'm going to make a point, then I'm going to respond to your point. Number one is thank you everybody who is contributing. Jesse, we're still on the first question. I just want to make that statement.
I know.
Anyway, but my point here is, and I'm talking to all you leaders out there, because this is my role, and Jesse knows this is my jam, is most of the people that are standing in front of the room saying this is a safe space, there is no rank, you are the person that is either creating the environment to where that is true, or you are the person that is talking a bunch of crap. Like, it's on you. So when you're the one in the room facilitating the conversations, and you're the one in the room helping to promote that environment, everything you do in that room is either contributing to it or taken away from it.
Yes.
And so there are skills specifically to how you facilitate and what you do in the engagement of the room. And I have a really quick one, and then we'll go on, Jesse, just because it happened this week. Is I do a lot of facilitation, and I love being in rooms where I kind of just get to be the person that helps contribute and helps everyone in the room come together and do a lot of things. And we had a class where it was about 15 people, and it was all different layers of people, levels of people, because of it was a new hire class, so a lot of new hires, and new field engineers all the way up to division managers, like all kinds of people in this room. And my job is to go through, help them understand our culture, but also help them to understand each other and kind of start connecting with each other. And one of the big pluses from the event, so I do a plus delta at the end. One of the pluses from the most senior person in the room, as an audience member, as an attendee, not as the leader, his plus was, this was a great class. You took 15 complete strangers and we built relationships today. That's your job.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yes. No, I love it. And Craig says it in a tight way, says you can't tell people everyone is equal. It needs to be demonstrated through action. And you know what? As beautiful as it sounds to say everybody's equal, like that does not make it happen, right?
Nope.
Like you're the leader, you're the person in the front of the room. You got to create the conditions. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort for that to actually come through and filter into people's brains. And it likely isn't going to happen in one sitting, especially if you have, like a history like me. It took a while to recondition everybody because of what I used to say and do. So it takes intentional effort. Okay, I'm gonna throw up the next question.
We do have like 4, and we're getting to number 2.
Yeah. And so see what the tribe, obviously they're going to keep stirring it up. So question number 2 is, have you ever regretted staying quiet in a meeting? And so folks out there in the Omniverse, as you answer the question, I want to shout out, recognize Mr. David Pushkin says, hi, I'm from London, the UK, just joined the conversation. And the power is so encouraging. David, I appreciate you, man. And folks out there, if you're like lurking in the shadows right now, that's okay. We love you. But if you leave your comment, add to the conversation, ask a question, share your experience, it is going to get you into the randomizer, which here in about 16 minutes, we'll do the raffle. And if your name gets selected, you'll get a 1-month pass to Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the Cultivation Crew, where we work on those powerful, hidden, sneaky leadership skills that there really is no training for. We got something for you. And we also have Mr. Chris Sands coming in from California. He says, I've been in management for over 6 years in production facilities, and now coming into the electrical trade, the trades, it's Alliance. And Chris, you're at the right place, bro. I know as beautiful as I am, it's obvious that I'm a plumber. But if you ever want to talk about dealing with trade folk, I got you, brother. I'm happy to do that. Thank you for supporting the men and women out there that do the building of all of our stuff. Okay. Question. Have you ever regretted staying quiet in a meeting? So, Jen, have you?
I think my regrets, I was thinking about this question when we were talking through it. My regrets have been that I was thinking something and I'm like, ooh, should I say it? I'm not sure if it's what they're wanting. Most of the time in the meeting or after, someone else will say it. And then I'm just mad and angry because like I thought it and I could have said it. And then it could have contributed to maybe a bigger conversation in that environment or in that room. And because I didn't, because ooh, is that okay? Not that someone else got credit for it, but I'm like that I made a choice and someone else was braver than me. And, it was more of an internal, like, come on, Jennifer, like, what the heck? So that's where the regret came from.
Yeah. No, similarly, I've had, for me, it happens more like this. When I see like an issue, a problem, but it was because I'm kind of sensitive. I look for those things. And so I used to, now I do it less, but I don't say anything. Like I don't point it out. I just kind of like, oh, maybe that's a problem. And then when it blows up or gets bigger, I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have said something, right? And now this is in the corporate environment, in meetings, in groups, and also one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And for me, the more painful, regretful ones are the one-on-one stuff when I see something. So now, like, especially one-on-one, I gotta say, like, hey, I just have to ask. No, it's good. Or like, actually, yeah, okay, cool, man. Let's give it some time. I can't let it go anymore. In a group setting, sometimes it's like, me being lazy. I'll just kind of read the room and like, these fools ain't gonna put in the time. They don't have the bandwidth to go after this thing because they're working on a bigger problem. So I'll just leave it alone. But then it grows and I'm like, son of a bitch. I knew, like I just knew. And I think what I want to point out is when you're having that experience, that is like, how often do you have them? Mm-hmm. Take action to have them less.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're concerned. Like part of it is I don't want to, I want to be nice. I want to be polite. I want to be appropriate. But then it's self-betrayal. You're betraying yourself. And so you start having like internal resentment. And that's not a healthy place to be. Mr. Clyde, what's up, my man?
Good morning, Clyde.
He says, most definitely. He has regretted staying quiet. And the next meeting, I definitely spoke up and disrupted the quiet. And that opened up a bunch more things in that meeting. Beautiful. And kind of like what we were talking about earlier, Jen, is like, or actually Sarah says it in a very beautiful, exciting way. And I also know this is kind of the magic she brings. Some companies need a disruptor that can build and others want to move forward in status quo. So you can be the disruptor in a healthy, productive way. And that's kind of the challenge, right? Like, because I know when I was a rookie at it, I was just disruptive. But what kind of like what Clyde shared, when I started speaking up, all of a sudden everybody else had something to pile on, and like not in a bad way. They just, the way I see it, and when I'm coaching people, it's like, look, it's not that it's not okay to say the thing. It's just like it's natural to kind of suppress and play it safe. But once you go first, what you're doing is you're demonstrating, providing evidence for other people that, oh, she said something unpopular. She didn't get fired. The sky didn't fall down. Well, you know what? I'm going to say something too. And a lot of times that kind of turns into a flood of we'll say it sounds like complaining, but it's really people surfacing problems. Mm-hmm. And you get to start that tidal wave. And also, if you're the leader in that situation, because I kind of do it. I have some of the sessions I do with people. The name of it is Cuss and Discuss. Because it like straight up, like you want to come in and solve a problem, especially when I could see there's a lot of contention and friction and unsaid truths. Like you can feel it. It's like, okay, we got to have a cuss and discuss session so we can design a deployment plan that everybody's behind. And the first hour to 2 hours, like I create enough time for people just to vent, and I'll poke and pull and poke and pull so that everybody gets their stuff out. And a lot of times, just that action or having that space to dump and vent and let it out is enough for the people. Like it solves their frustration, and then they can be committed to the action going forward. Other times, like, oh, the leader in the room is like, man, and I heard this so many times after, I'm like, man, I didn't know there was that much. I was like, yeah, I know, man. Part of the reason is because of your behavior. You've never invited it in. Just two things came up. We have to go after those. Like, yeah, do you want to do those first? No, but we got to keep track of them because it's really important. And so again, kind of like Craig said earlier, you got to demonstrate the behavior and be ready for it. Because if it's new, people don't know how to play in that sandbox. And so it's going to be messy, but the value of that is freaking tremendous on the other side. What do you think? Do I just like stirring shit up, Jen, or does that sound like
you do? Well, yeah, for sure. But and you use cuss and discuss, which is awesome. I did this in a recent session at Connect, which was our company event. But I led a session on if you were president for a day. So if you ran the company for the day, that was the session. So and then people signed up to come in and sit down, and it was a good mix of people. But my exercise is very similar to yours. It's a little more structured. I know that surprises you, but it's start, stop, continue, improve, and that's what I use. So everyone gets to go today. What would you start doing? That we're not doing? What would you stop doing that we're doing? What would you improve based on something we're doing but needs to be better? Start, stop. What would you continue that's working, and then what would you improve? Because we have it, but it's not where it needs to be. And it's a very just when you can dig into things where people are just kind of this process. This, we're not doing the, like when you can start honing in on things like that, you're getting things to surface that would not be, hey, what's going on? Is everything good? Hey, does anybody have any issues? Those are things that we do. And then no one says anything. And we're like, good, let's keep moving on. And we don't stop and we don't ask those very intentional questions to be able to surface things that people, it's a little vulnerable. It's a little scary. It's a little risky to go our payroll process or our time card process. They're not going to challenge it because then it's like, okay, I don't want to be that person, but like there are things that need to be improved. We already know that. And so being able to create an environment and challenging and being intentional in the way you ask and then listening, I mean, that it's different.
Yes. I think you posted about that earlier this week, right? It's learning how to listen beyond what you want to hear.
Yes.
All right. Like for real. Has anybody got an issue? Okay, good. Moving on. Like, bro, come on, man. Like you can't, and I used to subscribe to this thinking, silence signifies agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. Right? Like hold yourself to a higher standard. And here's the thing. If I ask, does anybody have a problem? Have any thoughts, concerns, objections? Okay, moving on. That second and a half is not enough time for everybody to process and respond. So sometimes the action is just shut your damn mouth and hold it for 10 seconds. Like count to 10 in your head because somebody in the room has something to say. Give them time to process because not everybody processes that quickly so that you can actually surface a problem. And when it's really important, it was a practice that I had to learn was, okay, I counted to 10. All right, I'm going to assume nobody has anything. Now, this is important. So if you want to talk about this one-on-one, if that's safer for you, I'm going to be available after the meeting. And guess what? One or two people hung around after. And it's a little weird. Like, come on, why didn't you say anything? Well, why? Because like Craig says, you can't talk yourself out of a situation that you behaved yourself into. And so my behavior was changed.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Right? You got to change your behavior. You got to demonstrate it so that people understand that, see, that magical word that David brought to the table, psychological safety, right? It's important in facilitation and culture to speak up. What is psychological safety in Jesse land? It means your head's not going to be chopped off for saying something that is contrarian to the conversation. You have to prove that and demonstrate that when you're the leader. Man, we got so much
and
stuff.
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. You say that. Those of you that are like, it's my job, I'm doing this, don't ask a question that you really don't want people to answer. Sometimes we do it just like boxes and we don't give them space to answer it. Then don't ask the question. Just don't ask it.
Right. Too many people say, well, I asked them. Like,
yeah,
come on, man. Weak sauce. If you're not getting the outcome you want, evaluate your system. It's not them, it's you. Because I promise somebody has a freaking opinion. Like, no doubt they got an opinion on the thing.
I think if you can think through it and you said it, but I want to like emphasize it. We like to, when relationships aren't working or when something's not going well, it's not you, it's me. We like to do that to kind of be the easy way out. Okay, own that. It's not you, it's me. What am I doing to contribute to this? Own that in everything. Because then it's going to change the way you look at it. Like instead of it just being a cop-out on a way to not have to have a hard conversation, then, okay, have the hard conversation with yourself.
Yes. First and often. Yes. All right. Miss Jane says, I think many of us do or have done that. And when you do speak up, people will look down at you. That's actually a good sign. It shows you're not swimming in the same direction as everyone else.
Oh, yes.
Right. And I think that's super, super important. And I know it's going to be easier to say than to do. But when you find yourself, and I've been part of like nonprofit boards and, leadership steering committees and all these things. And there were a few of them where, of course, I'm invited in, so I'm going to bring what I can bring as much as possible, or that I'm aware of anyways. And I could see like, oh, this ain't how y'all play. Like the one person, we're supposed to read her mind and just be on board and cheer her every time she says something. I have two choices. Three. I could stay on the board and suppress myself to put it on my LinkedIn profile, or I can play their game, or I could get the hell out of there. Right? And it takes so much energy for me to suppress and play the game, so much more energy than it steals from me delivering value in the venues that I like to play in. So I get my ass out of there. Now, also in a professional space, which is a little harder because sometimes it means finding a better boss, finding a better team. Mm-hmm. That can be scary, but I promise you, choosing the leadership styles and the team dynamics, giving that more value than the compensation package will have a healthier impact in your life on the long term. Deciding to move and transition is scary, but I 100% totally recommend it. Do you think that that's irresponsible, Jen?
No, Jesse, I want to go back to Jane's comment only because like I live in this space of this opposite direction of what is okay and normal and what people are comfortable with. And I live in that space. And now they're like, Jennifer, we need you to come in and facilitate a meeting because we're having some issues with these two departments. Yep. And so I go in and I'm the facilitator in a room where all levels, like leaders of the departments, people that are working in the departments, and the one of them that rings true is there was one that I was the facilitator. We got to surface some things. We got to surface some things because there's some issues here. To the point to where I facilitated this group to get so I'm going to say into what was wrong, that there was a point that one person made a comment, somebody else didn't like it. This one stood up, this one stood up, and they were like talking at each other. And I had to like get in the middle and like, okay. And I had 3 leaders sitting in the corner and didn't even say anything because they didn't know what to do. Like they were just sitting over there watching this whole thing unfold. And I'm like, okay, let me get in the, I mean, it was like, I was like dramatic. I was like, okay, I'm going to need you to stop for a second. We want to acknowledge this. And it was one of those things that the big takeaway, everyone in the room was like, oh my gosh, like that has never happened. But now we have some things we can do going forward to address this. And it just surfaced in that room. And you got to be able to like go with it, and you got to be able to encourage it and keep going and address it and get better. That we run away from those things.
Yes. And 100%, like for me, the most dangerous things that threaten like my quality of life is comfort and convenience. Mm-hmm. It is comfortable to not say those things. Mm-hmm. Not bring those things out. The danger is I suppress them and they fester and grow.
Yes.
Right?
They're never good. That's never good when you let them fester.
Of resentment, and I get angry at them, I'm angry at me, and then it's this big ugly monster because I keep saying, no, that's not appropriate. No, that's not polite. No, like get the shit out and work from there, because otherwise it's bad. For me, anyways, that may not be everybody. Oh, look, we got Miss Leslie.
Good morning, Leslie.
Hearing ideas, questions, tips. Glad you're here. All right, so I got one. I'm going to read Miss Carrie's comment, and then we're going to go to the randomizer. So, folks, you got about a minute to drop a comment so you can get in the randomizer. Miss Carrie says, I have stayed quiet. As a Black woman staying quiet, I finally got frustrated and annoyed. When I spoke up, people listened, and that changed it for me. I realized I have power and authority to be a positive influence and advocate for what I believe is right. I absolutely love, because when I take in that, like she's as a Black woman, you can fill that in like as a super sexy Hispanic dude, right? Fill that in with anybody, anything, whatever your descriptors are. Your frustration comes from not saying the thing. Say the thing, right? Put it out there. And, maybe it doesn't always come out polished and smooth. Guess what? You get another rep and you get to do it again. You get to get better at it. Or sometimes it'll come out the first time really polished and smooth. And people are like, oh, shit. And then you discover that you have value. And now, like you say, you're advocating for yourself. You're also, maybe not on purpose, advocating for others.
That part, Jesse, that part. Before you do the randomizer, like I want to hone in and I want to double down on when you do it, scary, not scary, polished, not polished, you are then giving permission to other people to do it, whether you're doing it on purpose or not. You are advocating, you are encouraging, you're empowering other people to go, well, she did it. Well, he did it. And like they're still here. So maybe I can also do that and share that and say it, and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Show people what is possible, straight up. Yes. All right, it is randomizer time.
No. Okay, so while Jesse's getting that fixed, so we're gonna do a randomizer. Anybody that made a comment gets to go in the randomizer, and if you win, you then get a 1-month pass to join us for 2 different sessions that Jesse and I lead around communication skills, on being able to ask better questions and just engage with people better, but also all the leadership skills that no one is out there talking about.
Yeah, we're going to twist some minds. So if you ain't scared, show up. All right, here we go. Randomizer time. Oh, man, we got a lot of people.
I know we have so many. I'm so excited.
Oh, come on. Let's see. Who's it going to be? Oh, Coach Carrie.
Yes. And she just looked at her. She just added another comment.
That is so awesome. Miss Carrie, I will be. What's that?
No, I'm like literally. I mean, she just added a comment as her name popped up.
That's freaking perfect. I love it. Congratulations, Coach Carey. Oh, look at that. We bribed her for this comment. She says, this has been a phenomenal conversation. Advocating for others, especially when they're unable to do it themselves, is powerful. Awesome. So glad you're here. And folks, like free pass right now, a little more clarity, and then we'll get into the third question, Jen, as we kind of transition over into the after party. The Emotional Bungee Jumpers and Cultivation Crew is a monthly thing. We meet on the second and fourth Friday of the month at 2 p.m. Central. Well, most of the time, except for recently, because I didn't do a good job of managing my calendar. And it's a group of change makers out there in the like ballers within their industries, within their organizations. We got some solopreneurs in there. We've got the gambit. And so you can sign up for that. It is an online community. If you're interested, drop a note and I'll DM you the information so that you can sign up to be a regular, get a membership of the thing. But I just want to be clear, like, this isn't the only way to get in. You can get a seat and be a part and join the group because we have a lot of fun. Oh, look, and it's her birthday too.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach Carey. All right, Jen.
Also everyone that's engaged in it, like they're gangsters and they're out there. Like some of them have been in there 2 years. Some of them have been there a couple months. Like they bring the real hard conversations, and it's like we are growing better because of each other. So
100%. Yes. All right, Jen, I'm going to pull an audible and skip the third question and go to the fourth question. Let's see how this plays.
Okay, so you're going to post some after party stuff. So you post the question, I'll talk about the after party, and then I'll address the question. Is that good?
Yes, ma'am. So here's the question, folks. If you stopped seeking external validation, what decisions in your life would immediately change? The little challenging question. Yes, take it away, Jen.
Yes. So think about the question, but also Jesse and I do the live stream and he and I do a lot of the talking, like all the talking. And you are over there adding amazing content and we're bringing it up, but your voice isn't really getting to be heard. So we also do an after party. So immediately after this, I think we give it like 5 minutes for bathroom breaks and things. So at 9:20 Central, there is an after party, and it is literally talking about this content where you get to join the video. It's a Google, so you get to join. You don't have to be on camera, and you get to share your thoughts. And we get really just have a real conversation with you sharing and other people talking. And usually that conversation drives our next live stream topic. So we'll take things that got discussed in there and then we'll go, okay, we'll have a conversation really quick and we'll pull, okay, here's what we're going to talk about next time. So much content today, so many people that we hadn't seen or that were new that contributed, that it made this so valuable that we didn't even get to all the questions. So please, Jesse just shared all the links on all the platforms on the link. I mean, you just click on it, join it. And then we just, for about an hour and 15 minutes, we just talk. We let y'all talk and then we just kind of ask questions. And it has grown our No BS community because we have people on there that are able to connect with each other, but also they're able to share, like, here's my tips and tricks and here's the things that I've been dealing with. And again, it's powerful. So we are encouraging you to please join us if you have some time. You don't have to be on video, and we'd love to hear from you. So there's that. Going back to the question, Jesse, I see that you got your back and you've got everything done. So if you stop seeking external validation, what decisions in your life would immediately change? Jesse, I want to ask this to you because is there anywhere you still seek external validation?
Yeah. Yes. Now, I'll say it's more calculated than it used to be. It's way healthier than it used to be. And I don't suppress like I used to. So example, how do I seek external validation? When I'm acting silly on here and talking about how freaking beautiful and gorgeous I am, it's because I want to see you laugh and I want to see the comments like Jesse's being dumb or whatever. Like that instant gratification of me seeking that, like that's a prime example. I've done it multiple times on here. And so yes, I say there's some specific, when I do, and this is me spilling my secrets. A lot of times when I'm doing facilitation around like my training on communication, I will make multiple comments, or when I'm talking about resisting change, I'll somehow, some way, I will point out that I'm single and I've been single for like 15 years and I got a bunch of exes because I don't like to change. I do that because it's funny. People laugh every time I say it. There's a giggle or a smirk or whatever. That's external validation. They think I'm funny. They find me entertaining. So, and so yes, I do in the sense that it's more calculated, but it's not like it contributes to the experience. Bullshit. It gives me like the dopamine hit. That's why I do it. And it's more calculated. And more importantly, it's not out of suppressing. It's not an either or thing. It's like, okay, I know what value I know the contribution and the mind shift I want to deliver, and I'm going to freaking do that. And I want to sprinkle in a little bit of validation on top. It's not either or anymore. It's yes and just a little bit, just so that I can get my hit. What do you think about that, Jen?
Well, I love that, and I get to live all of that, and so I know I feel like, Jesse, as much as you're like a coach and you do all the things, like your title in my mind starts with a performer. Like I feel like that's what you are, and it's not that you're not delivering value and like you're connecting with people and all the things, but it's like it's almost a performance. Like it's all the things, and that weaves in the funny and the dancing and all the fun things. So that's how I see you.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely that. And I also want to say, like, I don't judge people who are in that loop. Like, I get it. I used to engage in super dangerous self-destructive behavior, seeking validation. Doesn't make any sense, but it's what I did. And so I understand how powerful, like the gravity of it. It's a black hole, man. And it, like, to break it, it's very, very difficult. And I hope that what we're doing, you and I, Jen, and the rest of the tribe are doing, signal to people like, hey, man, like, go do. I mean, Sarah, she started bring out your badass self, right? Like I think there's a lot of things. Well, I'm going to say it this way. If you don't know how to do it and you're still not comfortable with it, start surrounding yourself with people that are doing it to a degree greater than you.
That part. Yes.
Because it's contagious and you'll learn, and you might do it wrong. You might fumble it. It's okay. But you can always come back to your source, or do like Christy said. Have your self-validation journal, like have home base to come back to, so that you're, calibrating appropriately and being a little more courageous over and over. And so David, I love this, right? So if answering the question, David's answer is start public speaking. And that's terrifying. Like that's the number one fear, right? It's scary. There's a whole lot of head stuff that's going to happen. David, I'm just going to say it, bro. Like, live streaming counts as public speaking.
Yes, it does. And when the more reps you get, man, it will completely change the way you show up in conversations.
Yes. And you can delete it if you don't like it. Yeah. Right? Like just go live, deliver your message, and then delete it afterwards. That counts because it's a step towards the thing. Mm-hmm. Super and Losery adds to that, right? Building rapport to get connection to deliver the message. That's it. Build connection, surround yourself with amazing people, and you will get there. So I hope that we'll have a bunch of people at the after party. Jen, what do you think?
I think so too, but can my wrap up be answering the question?
Yes, please.
And so the question is, will you pull it back up? Sorry.
Yeah,
so I want to address when it happens, when you stop seeking external validation, be ready for what's going to happen, because then you get to decide. And so for me is when I stopped looking for external validation, I started getting invited to places that maybe before I was fighting to get into, and I just kind of stopped looking for that. Then they start inviting you in. Be ready, because then you get to make a decision on what you're going to say, what you're going to do, what rooms you say yes to, what rooms you say no to. Those asks that now you get to decide what's in line with what's important to you. Just be ready once you stop seeking all of that and you start owning your value.
Woo. Yes. Be ready, because the floodgates will open, and it can be an emotional avalanche, and that's okay. Again, the more, I'll say this, the more courageous you decide to be, the more important having a community is that's like playing the same game, taking the same steps. I'm trying to find Sarah's comment. And so here's what I want to close with. So Sarah says, I've always been the one to speak up. I actually learned value in staying quiet. And there was another comment she made, because when you're the one that always speaks up, sometimes it's a risk. People depend on you to do all the speaking up, and they hide behind you. And so, I know that adds a little complexity, but it's I'll say it this way. I see me like disconnecting from the validation thing, and focusing on the value thing. I see it as a contribution into helping people stay on the path of becoming the promise they're intended to be. And when you have a bigger purpose, or rather when I discovered or decided to have a bigger purpose, the more impactful I was able to be, or am able to be. Similar to what Coach Carey says, I don't seek external validation. I guess next to my own opinion, I make sure my actions have a positive influence and impact on my son. Yes. Right? Like, if it's terrifying for you, don't do it for you. Do it for somebody you freaking care about. Somebody or something. Do it in service to others. Everything gets easier. Yep. That's my closing thought, Jen.
Yes. Okay, we'll see you all in a couple minutes.
Oh, we're supposed to do the dance, the chorus.